So guys, today we will be looking into systematic sampling. So in systematic sampling is one of the probability sampling method in which the researchers select a member of the population at a regular intervals. So what is this regular interval means? So we are going to choose that one number out of the population which we will continue to select and through our entire population like till we meet the sample size. So how is this regular interval has been measured or how it is being represented? The regular interval is represented by k, a small k determined in advance. So this systematic sampling interval is always determined in advance. This always determined in advance while referring to the sample size requirement. So how are they going to choose this interval? So under this type, we have under systematic sampling, we have three types. We'll be studying that in the futures in the next upcoming slides. So before that, so what is the minimum requirement of using a systematic sampling? So the minimum requirement of using a systematic sampling is that you should have your population in an order. You should have your population in an order listed so that you can make sure that in whichever series or in whichever category you choose the interval, so based on that you get your results, and it will give you a representative population there, not an unrepresentative population. So with the example of this we will move on. Yes, so we came across what is the order of the population is. So next I'm going to show you an example of an unrepresentative of population. So here what a researcher has done is that the researcher is made that the alternative between men and women. What the researcher does here, researcher has given the even numbers to men and the odd numbers to women. So you choose to sample every 10th individual. So what we are doing here, we are choosing to sample every 10th individual. So 10 is an even number. So when we choose 10, obviously all our samples will be men in our sample. So in our sample size, if everyone is men, do you think our results are going to be effective? Do you think that study will have an value to the content? Because it is going to be a biased study. You are choosing only men here. Instead of that, what you can do is you can mix both, and you can choose a random number like 1 2 8, something like random number, eighth person in the group, ninth person in the group, 11th person in the group. So each time when 11th person is chosen, we will have a mix of men and women. So at that time your research is going to be bias free, and it is going to give you an representative population. It is going to give you an representative population. So while you are making a systematic sampling, you should make sure that you arrange the population or order the population in such a way it is going to be bias free, and it is going to give you a quality content for your research and a value content for your research. So the minimum requirement of system sampling is, guys, you should have an order of the population. So next, you should also know how we are going to sample without known population. So let's assume that I don't know who are my population is or what is the population strength I have. I'm going to explain this with an example of a store where the researcher or the owner of the store wants to know how many of the people visits the store and how many are interested in buying the products. So what you will do, you want to take a feedback from the customer. So what he'll do, he'll appoint an employee just to check this. So here you run a department store. You are going to run a department store and are interested in how you can improve. You want to improve your store experience of your customers for your customer. So how are you going to conduct a research on that? So what you will do, you will ask one of your employee. So you will ask one of your employee to stand by the store. entrance, to stand by the store entrance. And what his job is, he has to survey every 20th visitor. So in a count of 100, how we are going to choose every 20th? The first 20th person, next 40th person, next 60th person, then 80th person, then 100. So we are going to test the 20th visitor who leaves every day for a week. We are going to choose 20th visitor. So our so our K year is 20. So our regular interval here is 20. We have chosen 20 as our regular interval. So after this, although you do not necessarily have a list of all your customers ahead of time, this method should still provide you with a representative sample. This method should also provide you with a representative sample of your customers, since their order of exit is essentially random. Yes, not every time the 20th customer is going to be the same 20th customer. The 20th customer may differ from week to week, day to day. So what is going to do this? This is going to give you a bias-free data here. The bias-free data, because you are not getting the same customer review every time, so that you can make sure that you are getting a response from different people, from different perspective, and with a different feedback. So you'll know where you are going to lack, and you want to know where you want to improve, and you will also know how you can improve the store experiences. So next, there are steps. There are steps while conducting a systematic sampling. Okay, so what is the first step? As usual, as we saw in the last two methods, even in this method, we are going to see the first step is same. Whenever you are conducting a research, the basic step is to know your population and to define your population. Even here, it is the same step. You are going to define your population. So how you can, like, in a systematic way, means you should have a way to define a population, because it is systematic. It is a systematic, as the name says, it has certain system or scientific approach to it while you are defining a population. So you can select your sample. You can select your sample ahead of time from a list, and then approach the selected subjects to collect the data. So what you will do, you'll select the, as I said, you'll first only keep your interval ready, or the regular interval. So, and you will question the subject to the targeted population or the targeted audience. You can approach the every kth, that is the every n individual, every nth member of your target population to participate in your study. So here, how is this matters while you are conducting a research in systematic way? In a systematic way, it is important to fix your regular interval before conducting the research. So it is like a pre-experiment. You are going to choose the interval before starting the research, because once you have your population, once you have your sample size, you will choose that particular regular interval number, and you will question, or you will focus your study towards that participant in your study. So kth member of your target, kth member, so k is the regular number. Okay, so as I said in the example, we are going to choose the 7th individual who visits the mall. 7th individual who visits the mall, we are going to take their feedback and opinion regarding their experience in the mall. So every 7th individual will be my target audience or the population. So I'm defining my population as 7th member, whoever 7th member or the 7th visitor. So 7 will be my regular interval, and I am defining that population. So what is the two more simple steps you have to keep in mind while you are conducting a systematic sampling? And under defining your population, you should have this 2 steps in your mind. Which are these 2 steps? So the first one is listing the population in advance. You should have a list of the population in advance. As we saw in simple random method, your targeted population should be accessible to you. should be accessible to you, should be in a contact with you. You should have their contact information, because you need to ask them questions, you have to approach them. So to do this, you should have in advance, you should have their contact information or accessible to those population in advance. Only then you can get a proper survey. Then after that, you have to select your sample on the spot. You have to select your sample on the spot. You can't say that, yes, Miss Anjana will be the 7th person who is going to visit the mall. No, not possible. You can say that, I can say a 7th individual will be my target population, but you can't say that exact person will be the 7th one. So you have to select your sample on the spot there, which is one of the most, what do you say, technical task. I'll also tell how to select your intervals when you don't have a like regular interval, or when you just have a sample size and a population size. What is the scientific way to bring out the regular interval? So up next, we have deciding on your sample size and sampling interval. So what is this difference between sample size and sampling interval? So when it comes to sample size is the piece or category of people whom you will be taken out of the population to conduct your research. Whereas the sampling interval comes into place when you are going through a systematic sampling method. Sampling interval refers to your nth member or the kth member of your target population. So that's sampling interval. So before you choose your interval, you should first decide your sample size. Only when you know your sample size, you can decide your sampling interval. I'll explain you why with the formula in the next upcoming slides. So how this sampling interval matters? When you have a certain number of sample size, there is a prescribed rule. There is a prescribed rule to have certain sampling interval. With a formula. I'll discuss that in the next slides. So keep waiting. So sample size and sampling interval, we all know that we don't know exactly how many people will visit your store ahead of time, right? We can't say every day, we can say an average. Every day 100 to 150 customers can come, 200 to 250 customers can come. So like this, you can estimate the total population by using an average of the prior few weeks foot traffics. You can take a report that was recorded few weeks back, and you can choose a day where you have more number of logins or where you have more number of walk-ins to the store. And on that particular day of the week, you can conduct a research, or you can conduct a study there on that particular day based on the prior week's walk-ins. So I want to explain you this with an example here. We have chosen that there are 7,500 people. Visit your store each week. This is based on week. So based on week, and based on this estimate, we have to calculate an ideal sample size of 336. So 336 is my sample size. Wait a second, guys. Okay. Yes. So yeah. So here, what is the population size we have? The population, yes. So the population size we have here is 7,000. 7,000. 1 second, guys. Okay. So the population size we have here is 7,500. 7,500 equals to population size, and I have chosen 366 as my sample size. So how this 366 has been divided is, I show, you can refer my last video. There I have expressed my views on a sample size calculator, where you are going to choose based on 95% with an example of 95% of confidence level, 95% of confidence level, and 0.05 confidence interval, 0.05 confidence interval, and we also have margin of error. So based on all this, so out of our population size, we brought out 366 as our sample size. So out of this sample size, what they have said here, out of the sample size, if you divide 7,000, if you divide 7,500, I'll tell you with formula, wait. So K equals, so K equals, one second guys. K equals regular interval, So to find K, what we need? So to find K, we need N. So what is capital N? It denotes here, it denotes the population. It denotes the population. Whereas small n denotes, okay, the small n denotes sample size. Small n denotes sample size. So based on this, you have certain idea now, like what is K, what is N, what is small n. So here, population size, this is capital N, and sample size, this is small n. So now what we have to find? Now we have to find K. So how we are going to find that K? K equals N divided by small n. That is K equals 7,500 divided by 366. 7,500 divided by 366. 7,500 divided by 366. So it will be equals, it will be 20.49. So we can round off this. So we will say K equals 20 or 21. You have two probabilities here. You can either take 20 or you can take 21. So as per the survey, out of 7,500 population and within the 366 sample size, our kth member, the kth member will be 20 or 21st individual. 20th or 21st individual will be our kth member. Okay, so this was an example. Okay, I'll brief you out once again with this. So here what we have done is, we have taken 7,500 as a total population in our survey. Out of that, we have chosen 366 as a sample size. We have chosen 366 based on this condition, that 95% of confidence level and 0.05 confidence interval, and we also have marginal error. Okay, margin of error. So out of all this, we have drawn that out of 7,500, our sample size will be 366. Out of this, we are going to find out K. that is regular interval. We don't know regular interval, so we are going to find the regular interval. So what is the formula to find the regular interval? So the formula to find here the regular interval, k equals capital N divided by small n. Capital N divided by small n will give you k. So what is k? K equals regular interval, n equals population, small n equals sample size. So here with a referred example in the previous slide, 1 second. Sorry for that. So with referred example with the previous slide, here we have 7,500 divided by 366, divided by 366. So our outcome will be 20.496562. So we'll take two decimals here. So our two decimals will be 20.49. 20.49 we can round off to 20 or 21. You have two probability here. You can either take 20 or 21. So I'll choose 20 and I'll go with 20th person or the 20th individual who are going to what? Who are going to visit my store. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to investigate that. I'm going to investigate that 20th person. That 20th person, every 20th person. So out of 366, I'm going to interval 20th person. Another interval of 20 is 40th, 60th, 80th, 100, 120, like this. I'm going to interval. Like I'm going to interview or I'm going to conduct a survey on it, on the every 20th individual. Okay, this is how you bring out the population size. Like you bring out the regular interval when you don't know the interval size. So what is the third step? So the third step here says that select the sample and collect the data. So I have selected the sample in the previous slide itself. That is 20th individual is my sample or the regular interval who is going to be in the store. So based on this, we are going to collect data. We are going to collect data